welcome to Simply Race. It's the third round of the Simply Race Endurance Series. We're at 6 hours of Bahrain today. The weather outside at the Milton Keynes venue is lovely. I'm sure the weather in Bahrain itself is pretty much similar as well. We've had lovely 30-degree weather here, but not today. It's lovely, cool 20-odd degrees today, which is very nice. I'm your commentator, Anthony Jordan. I'll be with you throughout the entire 6 hours. I'll try and keep up as best as I can, and I'm sure we'll have some other people join us as well during the race. Championship standings at the moment, as you can see, they're currently up on the screen on this side. There you go, getting used to the sight of the camera. Radicals Online leading the way, 72 points in front. El Bandito very close behind those 69 points as well. Practice that we've just had as well. El Bandito struggling a bit with the pace, but as we've seen in qualifying, can throw out a really good qualifying time. So don't write them out just yet. They'll definitely be up there. Keep a very close eye on them. Pink Panther Racing as well, 60 points in third place currently. They're having a really good season at the moment. Again, two very quick drivers, John Curry being one of them. He's been out in practice as well. Absolutely flying through. So again, definitely one to keep an eye on. 130 Racing, Scuderia Minerdi as well. They're very close on points, down in 4th and 5th place. And again, they're going to be teams to very keep an eye on as well. Obviously, everyone running the LMP2 cars for this one. So high downforce with a very difficult undulating circuit. Bahrain, of course, providing 14 corners in total out there, and many of them very tight and many of them very fast corners as well. So very suitable for these LMP high downforce cars, definitely with the high speed areas. Struggling a bit though on the low speed one. There is a shot of the venue camera you can just see behind. Obviously guys getting ready for qualifying. We'll be going into there shortly. Now, for this round, we've got some brand new steering wheels out there with us. We've got a bit of an upgrade from the previous ones, and we've got a bit of a promo for you, so check this out. Well, those wheels look absolutely amazing. Those TSPC wheels, I've had a go with them myself, especially as well on the LMP cars as well, and they're absolutely fantastic. The force feedback that you get from them, absolutely amazing. So a massive thanks to Thrustmaster who managed to get those shipped out to us, especially for this round. They have been used in previous championship rounds, i.e. SRBC. This is the first time they've been used for the Simply Race Endurance Championship, so it should be excellent to hear the feedback from the guys about what the wheels are like over a long period of time. But I can tell you right now, incredibly comfy how they feel in the hands with the suede. Absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely, it's on the Christmas shopping list for me, tell you that. Of course, we just mentioned there, they were used for SRBC as well. SRBC, another fantastic championship run by the Simply Race itself, with the touring cars, Clios as well. Absolutely fantastic, and I believe we've got a little promo for those as well, so if you stick around. Again, a looking championship there. Definitely one to get involved with. I had a go last season myself in the touring cars. I wasn't quick enough, but I'm sure there's plenty of you who are quick enough out there. Of course, the Clios as well, providing very close racing. So if you do get in touch with the guys here at Simply Race, go on the website simplyrace.co.uk, or do feel free to call the venue. Qualifying should be getting underway in the next, I say, minute or so. So we'll be heading out there, and we'll join you in the commentary box for that very shortly. So do please stick around. here we are for qualifying, and you can see the cars making their way out. And as you can see as well, it's slightly dark out there, but I'm sure it will brighten up for us today as well. I think the race is ending in dark. It should be starting in the dark though, but as you can see, drivers out there in fourth for qualifying. 28 minutes remaining of the session, and we are currently on the out laps at the moment. No flying laps started just yet. The guys are coming into the final couple of corners now. We'll be starting their first of their flyers. Currently looking at Red Shell Racing there. One of the newer teams with the series this year. Striking livery that they've got. Very Ferrari-ish, I would say. But again, sporting a very, very nice livery nonetheless. That's CRB Racing just behind them. The very striking green livery. Again, they're one of the good midfield contending teams. Have their moments. Red Shell Racing messing up their first qualifying lap there. So that's not good, but still plenty of time to get that time back down. So a smaller screen that you've got there, 130 Racing as well. They're going to be starting their first of their flies. And Red Shell Racing going very wide and into the wall actually. It looks like they've got themselves beached in the wall there. So that's definitely not good. It's not something you want to be doing in qualifying. As we move over, this is the U Barracuda guys. This is Grant Lyman, Nathan Burton. They're out in the car at the moment. Not sure who is in the car at the moment, but it'll be one of those two. As you've got the yellows out in sector 1, and that will be, of course, due to the Red Shell Racing that's just put themselves into the turn 2 tyre wall. Now this looks like their first of their flying laps for U Barracuda. They've only got one more corner to negotiate. There's a couple of cars there just in front of them as well. Looked like one of the Mangare cars as well that I think is just in front. Not sure who the other one was though, so we'll try and let you know who that was. But out of the final corner, let's see what the first sort of times are as we cross the line. So 145's coming in. We've got Pink Panther, El Bandito. They're crossing the line. U Barracuda, they're coming in third at the moment. So fastest time being the 145 from Pink Panther. Most of them coming in straight away out the bat, 145s. I know previously in practices that we've seen on the leaderboards that your rough times that you're looking at are about 144s, so they're in that area there. But as you can see, Lamatti Racing going straight to P1, provisional P1 at the moment. Only 700s though, faster than the Pink Panther guys, but still most teams in the 45s. About the top 6 teams in the 45s. Cansport Spire, they're up there as well. Piston Broke Motorsport, they're in P3 at the moment, just 1/10 off. Again, I still think plenty more time to gain though at the moment. You see a couple of teams there struggling, not getting into the 145s, a couple of 146s, 47s and 8s and 9s. But of course, it's first lap, and we've, of course, everyone makes slight mistakes on their first lap. Tyres are cold, the car's not fully up to temperature yet, but yeah, that is the one with it. Now again, we're at Bahrain, the international circuit. Absolutely fantastic facility that they've got out there. Very, very undulating circuit. Lots of ups and downs, fast corners and tight corners as well. The second to last corner as well being my least favourite, as we've seen one of the cars going straight off there, missing the braking zone. Looks like they forgot where to brake for that one, but it is a very difficult corner. I've done many laps on this circuit, and I still don't know where the braking zone is for that penultimate corner. It's a very blind entry one. Here's a little replay, and that is Red Shell Racing again going slightly wide. Now that is probably the hardest corner on the circuit. Now this is sort of the double apex left-hander. You're kind of braking and turning at the same time, and in these cars as well, that's pretty much impossible to do. So yeah, and these guys really finding out how difficult it is. Looks like we're back live now, and this is the Rebellion-inspired livery of I'm trying to remember the team name. No, this is Piston Broke Motorsport, of course. Yeah, that's it. Trying to remember who it was. Yeah, with their very Rebellion-inspired livery. I like it. It's really good. When I saw the Rebellion livery and their LMP car at Le Mans 24 Hours there, absolutely fantastic to see. The noise from the car as well, it was absolutely biblical. So yeah, really good sound quality that you got from that. So really good. And these guys have been inspired by that livery and popped it on there. So absolutely fantastic stuff from these guys as they're in the pits. I suspect going for some soft compound tyres out there.
we will be able to show you the compounds as well with our new overlay that we've got on your screen. You can see how many times they've pitted, you can see what current laps that they've completed, and of course the tyre compounds, and there they are. They're gone for the soft compounds that you can see, and every team is on the soft compound, and would you blame them? It's qualifying. You want to get some quick times out there. So a quick rundown of the order then. We're only a couple of laps in at the moment, so not really anyone has put in a fast time. There's some cracking data that you've got there at the bottom. There's Piston Broke doing a bit of tyre warming there. You've got their best lap, current lap, and all sorts of telemetry data that you've got there to feast your eyes on. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that as we go round. But of course, everyone running the P2 class in this one. No multi-class for this one. I'm pretty sure for the 24-hour though, we have got multi-class, so we will have GTs and P2s in the 24-hour at the end of the season. Of course, the top ranking teams do have the right to go into the P2s. And of course, anyone else will be in the GTs. So 2 different classes in that one 24-hour. So very much looking forward to that. But in the meantime, we have got your Bahrain 6 hours. So again, some more tyre warming going on there for Piston Broke as they make their way around the final couple of corners. They're going to be starting another one of their laps. Apparently, the track temperature here and the air temperature is about 40 degrees C. That's a bit hot. I'm sure if that's the temperature that's actually out there. If it is, I'd rather be here in the 20 degrees. It's much nicer, much more comfortable. LMP2 Racing then, they're still on provisional pole, 21 minutes to go, and they're still 7/10 or 7/100 down is Pink Panther in second place. Then you've got Campsport Fire as well, they're in third place, they're doing very well at the moment. And then of course Piston Broke Motorsport, who we're just watching there, in fourth place. Now this team, this is LMP2 Racing that we're currently looking at here. This is the current pole position car. There you go, you see the number 1 at the side, they're all illuminated up, which is very easy for us. But these guys currently in pole position, or provisional pole position, and let's just watch them go for a lap. So smooth in that downhill section there. Come to one of the tricky hairpins. It kind of opens up actually, it's a very, very fast corner, really opens up for you. Now we come into that difficult double apex left-hander. There's your first apex, hard on the brakes now, really slowing it down for this very tricky hairpin. And very easy to run wide there, and if you run wide, you are going to spin. It's so slippery off the track, it's unbelievable. You're straight off, straight out there. So let's see, now it's fast sweeping uphill. I'd take it probably around third gear for this one, I would say. You go up the hill now, flat out round this right-hander now. And then we come into a difficult, quite fast actually, right-hander. It's a penultimate corner. And we go down the hill into the final corner. And let's see what sort of lap time we've got out of LMP2 Racing this time. He's had a clear track in front of him. The laps looked good. So let's see what he can do as we exit final corner. Looks like a good run. Radicals Online going fastest, 1:45.372. They've just put themselves on provisional pole. LMP2 Racing 1/10 down. Let's see what they can do as they cross the line. LMP2 Racing can't respond just yet though, so LMP2 doing a 1:45.372 is Radicals Online, and then LMP2 still 1/10 down, so they can't do anything this time around. There's still 19 minutes to go, still plenty of time to see what they can find. So a little further down, who have we got where? So we've got El Bandito in 9th place at the moment, 1:46.1, and I know for a fact that that team can do a 1:44. So struggling with the conditions at the moment, can't quite get it in check at the moment, so definitely keep an eye on them, but still only 7/10 down from your fastest. Do Barracuda there in 8th place, they're doing quite well. 1:45.905, they've already pitted once, everyone's pitted once, bar Project GT, they've been in twice now. So they're really flying through those tyres and trying to get as much out of it as possible. It's 1:30 Racing as well, 6th position. They're doing fairly well. 0.3 of a second down from your fastest, which is Radicals Online, who we're currently looking at now with a very striking livery. I do love that livery, very crisp out there. But they're flying around at the moment. And their sector times, good sector times actually. So purple in the first sector. Second sector wasn't too great, but we're coming into the final corner now. Let's see what they can do this time around. Can they improve on their time, or are they still going to be in first position but can't improve? Let's see what they do across the line. 148, so yeah, definitely dropped off on that one, quite far off the pace. So there's Ubarakuda just leaving the pit lane, and I believe that's the Camsport Fire car that we can see just behind him. Here, the Radicals. I'm not too sure if it is though. There's a couple of the liveries are quite similar. It's a bit difficult for me to pinpoint them. This is one of the cars there, very wide at the side of the circuit. So we've got yellows out in sector 1. Not sure what happened there, but back in the pit lane it looks like they've gone. Casual Apex down in 12th place at the moment. There's the amount of total laps drivers have done so far in qualifying, so still a fair few at the moment. About 8 or so laps is the maximum. But yeah, 145s. Now I've got a nice timing screen just next to me. You can see lots of sector times popping in, purple sectors everywhere. Lamati Racing, they have got the best sector 2 time at the moment. Camsport 5 have got the best sector 1 time, and Radicals Online have got the best last sector 3 time. So there we go. So it kind of shows you of the pace that the teams have got. And down there now, El Bandito. That's a bit better from them. They've put themselves up into 3rd position now, just behind Lamati Racing. 145.551. They're up in 3rd place now, which is excellent news. They've got not the quickest sector times across the board, but again, good consistent time out there. We'll see what they do when they next cross the line, but only 1/10 down from Radicals Online, so incredibly close. In fact, the top 4 teams are less than 2/10 slower than each other. And I'd say top 9 teams separated by less than a second. In fact, just over half a second, 5/10 separating the top 9 teams. That is how close it is out there. So this should be an absolutely fantastic race, as we've got more times coming in. Now it's the top 11 teams separated by less than a second. So there we go. It is going to be an incredibly close race out there. 16 minutes to go. And again, some sector times coming in left, right and centre. Some more purples coming in. Camsport Fire again with a new purple first sector. Absolutely flying out there. We should definitely keep an eye on them, see if they can try and put it up. They have just put El Bandito down into 4th place, I should say. So Camsport Fire absolutely flying around there at the moment. But yeah, currently in 3rd position for them. So you can see on your screen what we're looking at here. This is the El Bandito car currently looking at. It's going into the tricky braking zone of turn 1, very sharp hairpin. You've got to really sort the racing line out, because then that turn 2 is very, very fast. Well, it's definitely flat out, but it's only if you're on the correct racing line, and you can really struggle to keep it on that curb. If it's if you do run onto that curb, very easy to lose the back end, and you lose all momentum up the hill into turn 3. So there's the 130 racing car that's just behind. Of course, the very nice coloured P2. And they're at the moment currently running in 8th position. Here's Pink Panther Racing. It's your 5th place team. They're currently just shy 2/10 off your fastest time at the moment. They're doing very well. Back with, of course, Piston Broke Motorsport here. They're going downhill now. This is coming up to the tricky double left-hander. Let's see how these guys take it as we go into the first of it. Actually, not too bad. It was very well taken. Lots of inside curb there. Really bumpy, really harsh curb on the inside there. But these guys managing to keep that car under control and getting it round. There's some more stats from them. It's a green first sector, personal best, sector 1. As we're in sector 2 at the moment. Let's see what they can do on this one. It's looked good so far. And as they go through, let's see what he can do. Doesn't go green on here, so struggled in that middle sector. But as we go into the final section, you can see the revs there as well and what gear they're in. Up into 5th gear now. As they go down. Now this final corner, I would say this was 3rd gear. And yeah, they're taking it 3rd as well. So at least my gearing's correct when I did my practice sessions. It's just, I wasn't very quick. I think my best time I got out there was a 150. Exactly, 150 is what I got. Back with El Bandito and 130 Racing now. A bit of a flash of the headlights for El Bandito, but they've got quite a distance away from the guys in front. 130 Racing, personal best sector 3, struggled in sectors 1 and 2 though, but they are trying to get that toe, of course. That's a long start-finish straight, and the toe can really help you. It can really pull you along on these start-finish straights. But currently in second position though, 130 Racing, so absolutely flying at the moment. Yellow's in sector 2, they clear quickly, so definitely probably just a spin, someone going off, not sure who that was. Radicals online with a new best time, I think, 1:45.372. I think that was actually their original one still that they've done. But 130 Racing, they are just 0.05 of a second behind Radicals online in P2. So they're doing an incredible job at the moment. Lamati Racing's third still, just 1/10. And again, Piston broke in fourth, 1/10 off. Then you got Camsport Fire, El Bandito, Pink Panther. They are all less than 2/10 off your fastest team at the moment. So absolutely so close for these top guys at the moment. 12 minutes to go, and let's just see what teams can do. Of course, they've probably all got a relatively full tank of fuel, but I think they do have the choice of choosing how much they want to do. So I think most teams have gone for the small amount of fuel. Key not to run out of fuel in qualifying. As we see the teams dive into the pit lane now, it's 130 Racing. Here's the ERB Racing. They are currently down in 13th position, less than a second off the pace. They've pitted twice at the moment, so they're on their third set of tyres now. It's always nice to go for some fresh sets of softs, just to try and keep that car as best as it possibly can. And of course, topping up that fuel, probably only for a few litres. Now, fuel for this race, probably only looking around 40 minutes, between 40 and 45 minutes for a tank of fuel. So over 6 hours of racing, that's going to be a lot of pit stops. So there should be plenty of action in that pit lane. Again, Yellow's in sector 2. I've not seen anyone off at the moment. We are currently running in sector 2, but they can clear fairly quickly. So again, drivers still struggling in these conditions. Of course, it's very easy to lose the back end of the car out on this circuit. If you run slightly wide, it's not ideal. The curbs are quite harsh, and if you run really wide onto that dusty stuff, yeah, you're straight off. The back's gone, and there's no saving it really. So it is very tricky out there. But these guys are still flying around at the moment. So let's see what ERB Racing can do this time as they cross the line. There's Yellows in sector 1. Of course, that won't affect them too much as they cross the line. And it's a 1:46.172, so can't improve at the moment. Their best at the moment, 1:46.110, so not an improvement there. Camsport Ice, they're currently on a very good, and Camsport Fire, they've just put in a new fastest. They've put it on provisional pole, 1:45.289 for Camsport Fire. So they are absolutely flying away with it at the moment. And the sister team, Camsport Ice, have had 2 personal best sectors, so sector 1 and sector 2 are both green. As they cross the line, it's a new personal best for them, 1:46.240 for Camsport Ice, and that puts them in 14th position. Again, less than a second down. It's the first clean lap that they've got in. They're absolutely flying through at the moment, so nicely done for the 2 teams, but a fair few cars in between them. 9 minutes to go of qualifying, so time is very quickly running out. So teams are going to really have to try and get a clear bit of track just to see what they can try and pull in. So, yeah, 9 minutes to go. Camsport Fire, provisional pole, 1:45.289. Lamati Racing, 1:45.307. Then it's Radicals online. And look at that. 3 teams less than 1/10 between each other. That's absolutely amazing. It's going to be so close. Here's Radicals online. It's currently 3rd place, and they're going to be wanting to get up to those positions. Of course, they're a very quick team. They're always at the front runners in the championship. So it's good to see what they can do this time around as we go into turn. I'm going to call this turn 3 out there. Of course, turn 2 being just after turn 1 as we swoop down. That's generally how maths works, isn't it? Yeah, with the Grand Prix. But no, back with the Radicals online. Still flying through there. Now they're coming into, this is definitely my worst corner on the track. I've always lost it under braking here. It's so difficult to try and keep the car smooth. It's very easy to run wide, and because there's a straight, so easy to get it going. Looks like they're abandoning this lap, and they're going to allow Piston Broke to get past, and they're going to fall in the slipstream now, and that could be tactical there. They could be wanting that slipstream when they get onto the start-finish line, but it looks like they've fallen a little bit too far behind to try and gain any time. 8 minutes to go. As some new times come in, still everyone very close out there. A bit of a shock for Red Shell Racing at the moment. They're 4 seconds off the pace at the moment. They've not managed to get in a quick time. And I know that they're quicker than that as well. So I've seen them do faster times. These guys are really struggling at the moment. There's Pink Panther up in 7th position at the moment. They're 2/10 off. But again, everyone's so close out there. It's hard to tell who's going to be quick out there, isn't it? So... Are you going to join in?
I am going to join in.
There you go.
How are we doing?
Yeah, good. I'm nursing a cough at the moment, but can you tell? I've tried to do it. El Bandito, fastest lap, 1:45.234.
Will Dendy was top of the times.
Yep.
During practice, leading up to today's race. So let's see how he does.
Yeah, it should be okay. I say that's incredibly close at the top. Yeah, so many teams under 1/10 per second. But El Bandito, again, looked like they were struggling in practice. They couldn't put in a quick time. But of course, they're doing that. Lamati's just put in a new fastest time now. So Lamati demoting El Bandito to second place, putting themselves in provisional pole, 1:45.171. Now let's keep an eye on the other teams as well while we're out there. I'll keep an eye on the sectors. Camsport Fire, they've got a purple Sector 1 and Sector 2 currently at the moment. Let's see what they can do on a Sector 3. Well, that could be their best, actually. So they're the best in Sectors 1 and Sector 2. They can't seem to quite get it together in Sector 3. But I say that, they're only 1/10 off in Sector 3. So they can get that squared away, and they should be good. But Lamati currently leading the way in provisional pole. El Bandito in second, Camsport Fire in third, Radicals Online fourth, 130 Racing in fifth, Piston Broke Motorsport in sixth, Pink Panther in seventh, Scuderia Novitzi, they are in 8th position, Project GT in 9th, Camsport Ice, I should say. They've moved themselves up into 8th place now, so good progress from them. Scuderia Minerdi, usually one of our top running teams, down in 11th place at the moment though, so definitely have to keep an eye on them. Barracuda, they're running in 12th at the moment, ERB Racing in 13th, Casual Apex in 14th, and then of course Red Shell Racing in 15th. Struggling to get a time on the board for them, for Red Shell Racing. But Lamati still leading the way. Radicals put themselves in second position, demoting El Bandito again down to 3rd place now. 5 minutes to go. The time's definitely coming in. There's the Camsport Fire car. And that is the team in 4th place. But they're the quickest in Sectors 1 and 2. New personal best Sector 2 for Radicals Online, or Sector 1 I should say. So they're on a good lap at the moment. So we definitely have to keep an eye on them as they cross the line soon. Camsport Fire, their personal best Sector 1, which is the fastest Sector 1. They've just about matched that on this lap. It's not as quick, just about less than 1/10 off, but we'll see what they can do into Sector 2. Sector 2 being, again, slightly faster, I'd say, actually. So they're on Sector 3 now. So we'll keep an eye on them, as that's the Radicals going very wide. That's not going to help them out with their quickest time out there. And
okay, just want to add, Lamati have had a new driver come into the team today.
Right.
He's never raced. So well, he's done his hot lap.
He's done his hot lap.
That's it.
That's it. Right, okay. So they've got a brand new driver. He's not really done any practice, and they're currently in pole position. Provisional pole position. Is he starting the race?
I'm not sure.
That would be an interesting start to it, wouldn't it? That would be a shock to the system. You're a new driver. Here we go. 6 hours, you're starting.
Have a go.
Have fun. But as you can see there, the times Radicals Online, 200ths of a second off from Lamati Racing. So they're absolutely, they're so close out there. It's going to be hard to put who's going to be out there. And of course, with fuel tanks only lasting probably around 40 odd minutes, yeah, it's going to be difficult.
For 1st to 14th, 1 second.
Exactly 1 second separating the top 14 teams out of 15. Of course, Red Shell Racing struggling to get a lap time in at the moment, but they're definitely out there, and they're going to be showing a presence. They might be just trying to stick to the back, and they're going to work their way through the field. You never know. Here's ERB Racing. I believe, is that ERB Racing? No,
it's
not
Casual
ERB.
Apex.
It is Casual Apex that we're seeing there. This is your 14th place team. Again, a couple of the liveries are fairly similar. Looks like they're diving into the pit lane. El Bandito crossing the line to start another lap. They're still currently in 3rd place, 600ths off Lamati Racing in provisional pole position. Now here's Ubarakuda. Ubarakuda in 12th position at the moment. They've pitted 4 times, so they've had plenty of new tyres to go out there. Let's see how they're doing currently in sector times. So 32.234 was their sector 1 this time around. They're going to be crossing the sector marker for sector 2 very soon. As it updates on my timing screen. There it is, a personal best 47.255 for sector 2 for Ubarakuda. It doesn't show personal best for you on your screen, but it does show green on my screen as they are coming into the final corner now as they cross the line. See what time they can do. Very late on the brakes, a lot of apex there. Don't know if that time will be allowed, and it looks like they're going to abandon this lap and they're going to dart into the pit lane. So shame for Ubarakuda that time around. They've probably only got time. Actually, they're going to have to really be quick here. It's going to have to be a quick dart in the pit lane to see what they can do, because they could potentially run out of time here and not get another lap. So only 2 minutes left, or less than 2 minutes now on the clock. So if teams are out there, this is going to be their final laps now with lap times of 1:45s. Ubarakuda have to be leaving the pit lane now, otherwise they're not going to be making it across the line. So I think that could be the end of Ubarakuda's qualifying, so I think they're still in the pit lane. Now this is Scuderia Novizzi with a very awesome livery. I love this. It's kind of Jaguar inspired, classic Jaguar livery. Absolutely fantastic. Love that livery. It's probably my favourite one out there. Now this is Project GT. This is a new team into the category, is it? I believe fairly new.
So they did the previous race.
Okay.
They're actually mechanics in the GT40, a WEC, which is no longer.
Which is no longer, no.
A GT40, but they are still working, which is positive. They just don't know what car yet.
Okay, so, well, maybe go P2. There we go. So the racing one, you might as well work with the one. Coming into the final corner, they've got a bit of traffic from Red Shell Racing. That is not ideal. Red Shell going wide and also spinning as well. So that shows you how slippery it is. And there's also another car. And that is Lamati. Lamati facing the wall. That is not ideal. So yellow's out in sector 3 as we've got a couple of cars in the barrier. But that is going to completely have thrown off Project GT. They cross the line, don't go faster than that time around. 30 seconds left on the clock, and again, anyone who's going to be crossing the line now, this is going to be their final lap. So these guys are all managing to get it. Pink Panther Racing, can see there, Project GT as well, who we're currently looking at. There's a couple of cars further behind. Here is Scuderia Nerdy. They're crossing the line now, so they're 10 seconds to go now, and that is I think, was that Radicals Online I just saw there come there. Here's, I think that was the Countsport Fire car that's just left the pit lane. They haven't got any time for any more laps, because of course they're starting their out lap now, and yeah, it was pretty pointless coming out the pit lane, to be fair. Checker flag has gone out. Radicals Online cross the line to take a new fastest time for that one. So cracking stuff from them, 45.106. So they're on provisional pole still. Lamati Racing, I don't think are going to get time to get another lap in. El Bandito goes second. They push Lamati Racing down. So El Bandito going second place across the line. Take the checker flag. Now, who else have we got? So we haven't got Countsport Fire. We've not got Lamati Racing. This is Scuderia Nerdy. They're currently running in 9th place at the moment. Let's see what sort of time they can do as we next cross the line. But we'll see the checker flag coming out across your screen for some of the teams. But yeah, times are incredibly close throughout. Piston Broke Motorsport takes checkered. They don't improve. They stay 7th position at the moment. 130 Racing, they've just crossed the line, puts themselves up into 5th position. So nicely done from them. A couple more cars about to cross the line. One diving into the pit lane, so not making it across. Casual Apex crossing the line. They're holding 12th position. That looks like Cam Sport Ice that I can see there. That's just crossed the line as well. They're in 8th position, so a massive upgrade for them. Now this is Cam Sport Fire. They are going to cross the line, but they haven't got a time because they left the pit lane as the checker flag went out. So I'm not sure why they went out on the track. But this lap is not going to be needed, and they know that, and they're diving straight into the pit lane. So we're not going to be seeing a time from Cam Sport Fire, and we're not going to be seeing a time from Lamati Racing. So I believe that is the order on your screen. Radicals Online taking pole position for the Bahrain 6 hours. El Bandito in 2nd place. Lamati Racing with their new driver starting 3rd, and the surprise team, Cam Sport Fire, up in 4th place. A massive effort from that team. 130 Racing as well, up into 5th. Scuderia Minerdi in 6th position. Pink Panther in 7th. Now they were the fastest in practice, Pink Panther Racing, before this event. So they're really struggling with the conditions today. Piston Broke Motorsport in 8th. Cam Sport Ice in 9th. Project GT in 10th. Scuderia Novitzi, they are in 11th place. Casual Apex in 12th. U Barracuda in 13th. ERB Racing in 14th. And Red Shell Racing in 15th position. And as you can see, teams there getting themselves ready for 6 hours of racing. And the race, of course, starts at 2 o'clock sharp. So we'll do stick around for us. We'll try and get some drivers in here for some interviews. As you can see there, teams recovering from that qualifying. It's quite warm in here, and time's incredibly close. Incredibly close. We'll take a quick break though, and we'll try and get some driver interviews for you very, very shortly. Do please stick around. So as you can see, the drivers are now on their way for the formation lap. We're going to be starting 6 hours of racing. Join me in the commentary box before the start. We've got one of the Radicals online team drivers. It's Mr. Callum Cripps.
Hello.
Hello, how are you, Callum?
I'm fantastic. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's going to be very, very interesting. It was obviously qualifying was very, very intense. There was a lot of teams
yeah.
that we didn't really expect to be up there, get up there. So Pink Panther are one of the ones that didn't really excel like they normally do in qualifying and actually put in a good lap. So they're starting P7. But yeah, Lamati Racing, they were there or thereabouts, but then they popped in a good one right at the end. Camsport Fire, Matt Goodschott was absolutely on it in quali.
Yep.
And yeah, 130 Racing as well popped in up into second, but then dropped down after literally the top two guys, Radicals Online and El Bandito, did their quick slaps on the last lap. So they really left it till the very last moment.
Yes, they really did, didn't it? Kept me on the edge of my seat, tell you that.
It was fantastic to watch. So yeah, let's hope for more of the same, and obviously everybody's going to be getting more of a race mentality in their minds now than the qualifying setup, but it's already, the sun is starting to set as we're going to start this race, and then it's going to go into night time later on in the race. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting.
Let's see what it provides. So yeah, of course, drivers just finishing off their formation lap. Standing start for this one, of course, with the LMP2s that we do in the endurance series. They're on the kind of middle grid at the moment. There's the Red Shell Racing car that we've got with a... I'm going to say that that's a drone view that we're looking at there. It's very...
Yeah, it's a rotating, moving shot. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Obviously, like the quickest, I believe, the quickest way to get these cars offline is with with their traction control completely off, and then for the going into turn one, you want to put it on low or medium. But for actual getting away off the line. But some teams, obviously, they've been running it. They're probably running it now in low while they're doing this warm-up lap. They've got to remember to turn it off. So it's going to be very interesting, and we'll see potentially some teams getting bogged down at the start if they haven't lowered their traction control. But it's going to be very interesting.
You'll definitely be able to tell who that was, and that happened to be in one race. I believe it was in GTs. Just slightly forgot to do it. So we've got some comments coming in. Good luck to all racers, especially the ERB racing team from Positively Racing. So there we go, those guys. Good support for the ERB racing team. Currently starting in 14th position. Now, the session run time apparently says it's 57 minutes. I can tell you now, it is a 6-hour endurance race, but we are going to be getting underway soon. You'll see the start lights come up, and we'll be underway for 6 hours. Now, turn one is a very tricky braking zone. It's very easy to outbrake yourself, so hopefully we don't see it this time. We've got 5 red lights, they disappear, and we're underway for 6 hours. It's a good start from Red Shell Racing, instantly going into the infield and getting up those positions. Now, is that Lamati Racing that's looking down the inside that's going to go for first, or is that Camsport Fire, I think I saw there? As we go down into the braking zone, there's Pink Panther just in front, but Red Shell Racing, probably the best starter there, up in the middle, and already up about 4 positions, I would say. Yeah,
Radicals Online got a bad start. They're down to P5, and they got contact with one of the Camsport Ice cars, so they've dropped back down. I think he might have had his traction control setting on the wrong setting, so unfortunately Radicals have dropped back down. There's a bit of contact maybe going into turn 3. I'm not sure what happened there. We weren't far up enough on the camera, but yeah, everybody seemed to be bunching up quite a bit. We've got side by side with these two cars. So Red Shell having an absolutely blinding start, already up to 10th.
Lamati, devastating start. They're down in now 12th position after qualifying 3rd and put on provisional pole for most of qualifying. Absolutely devastating start for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So El Bandito now leads with Will Dendy, the only driver in that team, so he'll be doing the full 6 hours, which I certainly wouldn't want to be doing, especially not in this heat this weekend. We've got Camsport Fire also in second place. We've got a car from the background now, it's ERB Racing.
Yeah, ERB.
So they've dropped down a few positions now, but it's still a bit of squabbling further on. We've got Project UT making a lunge on 130 Racing, but they get them back on the cutback. So and also the Pink Panther team not having the best of starts. They've dropped down to 8th place, but yeah, El Bandito with Will Dendy in the car leading the way at the moment, but coming under a bit of pressure from Camsport Fire now.
Yeah, I'd say the best team out there, well, I would say definitely Red Shell Racing. They've gone up 6 positions. They're up in 9th place from 15th, so definitely one of the dark horses out there gone up the field. Also, Camsport Ice, they've got up 4 positions as well from their start. They're up into 5th place. We're currently watching them now. Here's a replay of what's happened later bar. Oh, and that's Barracuda with a very ambitious dive down the inside of the double left-hander. Very tricky corner, but making contact with the ERB Racing P2 car there. yeah, definitely not ideal, and they've suffered back there. But we're back live, and we're back with Cam Sport Ice Car, and it's got Radicals Online all over them.
Yeah, so it looks like Radicals Online made a move down into turn 1, and then Cam Sport Ice has been able to get the cut back on the exit, but they get 130 Racing now for company as well, who are potentially looking to dive up the inside at turn 4, but think better of it. Scuderia and Minardi now up into 3rd place. They started 6th on the grid, so those guys making up quite a few positions, but Cam Sport Ice have made up 5 positions after the first lap, and someone's gone off there. That's Scuderia and Minardi going off the track, so they're going to rejoin behind everybody else. There's a barrier that goes across the track, and luckily doesn't hit any other cars. But yeah, so they've lost that 3rd position. They're now down in 6th.
There's another replay. This is probably going to be.
So they actually got tapped by by Radicals Online.
They did, didn't they?
So that's very interesting there.
But yeah, so interesting. Yellow's out in sector 2 currently at the moment. We're back live. Not sure what's happened on that one, but
so we've had loads of we've got loads of cars down now that we came away from that replay. So we've got Radicals Online down in 14th place, and we will have to get a replay whilst we were having the replay of what happened there. So
much action going on. It's hard to keep up, really.
Yeah,
isn't
absolutely.
It?
So we're going to
Cam
have to
Sport Fire and Cam Sport Ice, 2nd and 3rd.
Okay.
Now here's the replay. Now this is Radicals Online into the difficult left-hander. Oh, contact with the 130 Racing car, straight to the back of them into that difficult spot. They get up a quick recovery, get it back, but because the field was so close, it has put them back. Put them down in 14th position now.
Yeah, absolutely. We might have some contact with that as well, so I'm sure that'll be investigated by the race stewards. But yeah, not ideal from the pole sitters. Radicals Online now down in 14th place. We've got a lot of work to do. Potentially damaged car as well. So it's never easy for us in the start of these endurance races. But we're back live now, so we'll see. We've got epic battle going on down the field. So we've got 4 cars all here battling for what will be 11th position. We've got Radicals Online in there. We've got Lamata Racing, Piston Broke as well.
Yep, they're all
and
there. And
Casual Apex as well, just leading this train. So they all come up the hill towards turn 4, and Radicals Online on the inside of Piston Broke Racing. They're going to break into turn 4 and get the job done.
Yep, they've got it there just behind them as well. That's Scuderia Novitzi, again one of the newer teams in this, with a very striking Jaguar styled livery that they've got out there, which very nice, but they're still flying through at the moment. Just at the back of this one, and Barracuda just behind them as well. So still a long train of cars here at the start of this race. But Radicals Online really not the best start, which is a big shame for yourself. But you say you've got 6 hours to sort it out. This is what makes endurance racing fun, is working your way through the field. That's the fun part of it. Your face there didn't say it was fun. It's more hard work.
Yeah, it's more of a setback really, especially at the start of an endurance race. You don't want to be, just making contact with other cars willy-nilly. But yeah, unfortunate. But there you go. That's racing, and we'll try and get back up there. I'm pretty sure. Well, the 2 Cam Sport cars have had a fantastic start, so those guys will be very, very happy with themselves. They're up in 2nd and 3rd places. And while we're watching this battle further down with Lamati Racing and ERB, I think that is going wide there. Or is it Casual Apex? I'm not quite sure at the moment. But yeah, so those guys just running wide out of would be turn 13, I believe. So these guys side by side into the final corner, and ERB, I think, has to yield to that. Or is it actually, it's quite further back, isn't it? It was Piston Broke Racing, I think. So those guys then just getting out of the way. We've got Radicals Online trying to make moves once again and get back up the order.
It's quite nerve-wracking watching your own team trying to
get
through.
And there's a bit of contact again between these 2 cars going into turn 1, and they're three wide coming on the exit. Radicals Online got to be careful on the exit here. They're going to cut across the curb and just get away with it, but I was very, very close indeed. But Radicals Online up to 11th now, so trying to pick off the places, but it's very, very difficult to break away, it seems, at this stage.
It is incredibly difficult to break away, and of course everyone being so packed up at the moment, yeah, it's quite difficult as everyone going through. We're currently looking, there's a close battle between ERB Racing and Lamati. That gap there, you can see just 1.7 seconds between them, and we'll try bring that back up for you as there, but potentially might have a replay of the excitement in turn 1. Talk us through it, Callum.
Yeah, so there was a bit of movement actually in the braking zone from everybody, to be honest. It should have been a tiny bit more straightforward, but Radicals Online just driving around the outside. To be fair, the car on the inside did give them room, but yeah, very, very close indeed, and going through wide into that corner never really works, as you have to get a cut back into turn 2, so very, very close indeed. But unfortunately for Radicals, they're still down in 11th place at the moment, so we've got some work to do.
Yeah, definitely, and of course...
And Red Shell Racing are up to 7th now, so they've
they're flying
gained
through, yeah.
8 positions.
Yeah, so definitely absolutely flying through. And of course, they were really struggling in qualifying. They couldn't put a quick time in. But I did think that, you know, are they doing this deliberately? Are they just trying to stay at the back of the grid? You know, they just want to see what happens in front of them. We saw off the
They've
line.
just gone wide, sorry, going off at
Oh, there you go. So
the last corner there, so they've had to yield 1 position to Project GT, but they may get a really good run down into turn 1. So let's see as they go here. They've got a really good toe, so they're going to break down into turn 1. They've got 130 Racing just ahead of them, but Project GT holds them off and takes that 7th place away from them. So there's a lot of action happening here in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, say 10 minutes of 6 hours. So 5 hours, 52 minutes to go. And I'm already knackered. There's plenty of action just in these first couple of sectors at the moment. But a current rundown of your order at the moment after about 8 minutes of racing. El Bandito currently leading the way with Camsport Fire second, Camsport Ice in third as well. They're up 6 positions. Scuderia Minerdi, they're in 4th place, up 2 positions, with Pink Panther in 5th. 130 Racing, they've dropped down a position, qualified 5th. They're now down in 6th position. Project GT, they're up 3 places in 7th position. And Red Shell Racing in 8th, up 7 positions. And ERB Racing as well, up 5 positions. So you can tell at the front of the grid has been
ERB, sorry, just running wide there, coming through turn 8. So they may have lost a few positions there. I think they've lost 1 to Lamati Racing, and Radicals Online are very close behind them as well.
Yeah, it's a very tricky corner, that one.
It punishes you a lot just for running wide. I mean, we'll get a replay of it now probably. You can just see how you run wide, but then you skip over that curb and it just takes all the momentum away from you.
Yeah.
And then you've got to see all the other cars snaking, trying to get into the toe and trying to make a move up the inside. I think this is Radicals potentially making a move now, thinking better of it for the moment. There was actually a tiny touch there as they went into the braking zone, but they got away with it. We've got a tasty little battle here for what would be 3rd place. So you can see the 2 leaders really far up the road now. So El Bandito and Camsport Fire really breaking away. But Camsport Ice and Scuderia Minerdi and Pink Panther are all in a line here with everybody else in tow.
A very long train there. That's crazy, that is. And that looks like Radicals moving out the slipstream further back as well. It looks like they were going to go 3 wide into the braking zone. That would be a bit spicy again.
Yeah.
As you can see the action there further behind, just out of shot. But back up at the front now, Scuderia Minerdi, and they are all over the back now of Camsport Ice. Here's a replay. Now this is Radicals?
Yeah, this is Radicals Online then on ERB.
Yep, down the inside. Nicely done. Signed.
Oh, they're very, very close though.
Down the inside, nicely done. Yeah. That's how you do it, really, into the braking zone.
That is, yeah, you can't really go wrong with that. We've got Scuderia Minerdi very, very close to the back of Camsport Ice. It looks like Camsport Ice don't really have the pace of the leaders at the moment and are dropping back. And everybody else is following suit. So they go deep, actually going in to turn 8. That was very, very sketchy indeed. Nobody made the apex there at all. They all just got away with it. But very, very close indeed. We've got 130 Racing in that pack as well in the blue car, just behind the Pink Panther machine, and Scuderia Minerdi running wide as well.
From Scuderia Minerdi, yeah. Now they look like they just copped a wheel on that curve there, just at the entrance of this tricky uphill corner. And that really unsettled them, and you can see the gap that opened up. Now they're all concertinaing up behind. And who is this that we've got behind?
130 Racing.
130 Racing, yeah. Now we know what they're like into a braking zone or a tricky corner. Let's see if they don't do that again. Hopefully they don't.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't got a penalty for the collision with the Radicals Online, to be fair, because they did shove them off the track. So
yeah, we've not heard anything from race control yet, so we could still be deliberating about it. But of course, we've both watched it. It's definitely an interesting one. So we'll definitely see that. Now, Cohen's had to go off. He's going to have a look at see what he can do in terms of the call there. But, apparently, there's no call about it. It's I find very interesting because they must have seen something different. Yeah. So I'm sorry, you can't really hear Mike at the moment. He is talking to me, but he's out of mic shot. But yeah, so apparently there's no call on 130 Racing for that incident with Radicals Online, which I'm very shocked about because he went straight to the back of him from my camera angle. From Mike, yeah, depends on the different angles that you see. From the angle that I saw, yes, it looked like he completely sent it. So yeah, but other than that, so we're still watching Scuderia Minerdi. This is your 4th place team. This is the battle for 3rd place. And to be honest, this whole train is the battle for 3rd place, I would say. Everyone is so close as we go into, again, the braking zone. Camsport Ice running very wide. Scuderia Minerdi following. Pink Panther following. And 130 definitely following. And they're still off track amazed that they've managed to keep that in a straight line. They're going to have to yield a position, which they have done. Super GT managing to get up, Project GT managing to get up another position up into 6th place, and 130 Racing going wide again, really struggling now with trying to keep it on track for these guys. Scuderia Minardi again on the curb, really unsettling the car there, and almost losing out another position. So this first train of cars still flying through. Is everyone going past? And there's carnage further behind. I can't see it on the main screen, but you can see there the dust that's being pulled up. And there's Pink Panther straight down the inside of Scuderia Minardi, and that was after Scuderia tried to make a move in the Camsport Ice car, completely missing the braking zone. That opened up the gap for Pink Panther Racing, and Pink Panther Racing are now side by side as they go on to the start-finish straight. It's going to be a battle who can brake later into turn 1. Pink Panther have got the inside line. Scuderia Minardi give it up. Are they going to try and get the cut back now into turn number 2 as they go through? They're trying to get the switch back, and no, they can't quite do it. So that's an excellent move down the inside for Pink Panther Racing, putting themselves up into 4th position.
Yeah, and we've got a replay coming up here of another replay. This is Radicals Online then. What happened to these guys through turn 10? Oh, God, everybody in front of them just had a coming together, to be honest. Yeah. It's like a 6-hour sprint race at the moment. No one's really thinking about the race later on, but Radicals Online made up 3 positions in 2 corners there, and still side by side. And no, there was contact there between Radicals Online. I think that was just a racing incident, unfortunately, between these 2 cars. Just ended up getting a bit of side-by-side action and didn't really work out. But
I say the visibility.
Yeah, I just went to go see race director about that incident between 130 and Radicals Online, just to see if something will come up, I think, because it was pretty clear what happened. So as Camsport Ice is still holding on to that 3rd place, but I don't think it will be for long. They've got a lot of very quick cars behind them, but everybody needs to chill out a tiny bit, I think. Siri's getting a bit silly with some of the contact that's going on as they come through they're starting the final sector, and there's a massive dive up the inside. That was a great move from Red Shell Racing. So they're up into 5th place now. They started last on the grid, they're now 5th, and doing a fantastic job.
Something tells me they're taking a leaf out of the Mercedes book there, sandbagging a bit. They were nowhere in qualifying. Nearly 5 seconds off the pace.
Yes, but they had a different driver. They've got a new driver there in that team, so he did the qualifying just to gain some experience, and then the quicker driver in that team has gone in and is making some inroads into the front runners in this race, who tries to go around the outside of Scuderia Minardi, but they don't manage to do so. There's going to be contact.
When they closed the door on them, and that was a bit naughty, I think, from Scuderia Minardi. The car was there, and they've completely slammed the door on someone that was there.
But then again, the nature of that corner, I think it was a tiny bit ambitious trying to go up the inside there. We saw that. Do you remember the battle with Hamilton and Rosberg a few years ago, where Hamilton got the cutback and Rosberg had to bail out of it, and that's what you have to do, really. That corner, because of the angle that it's at and how tight it is, you really just got to lift off and let that other car go and try and get them back at another place on the track. There was no need for the contact to be so aggressive.
I suspect you're probably right there. It's still...
and that was the car going very wide
GT,
there.
Yeah, completely missing
their brakes. So people need to calm down a tiny bit. It's getting a bit too silly at the moment with all the contact that's going on. We've got another move, potentially for 3rd place, and Pink Panther up the inside of Camsport Ice, and they make that move stick. Brake quite late into that corner, and Camsport Ice are trying to get them back on the exit, but it's very, very close. There's almost contact to go through turn 10, I believe this is, and into turns 12, and very, very...
You missed turn 11.
Yeah, I know.
Probably turn 11.
Leave me to it. Camsport Ice now also getting caught up by Scuderia Minardi as they come into the final corner. And let's see what happens here, if they yield or not. Scuderia Minardi do tend to brake quite early for some of the corners when they're offline, so Camsport Ice keeps that position for the moment. We've got 130 Racing off in the background as well. It's all kicking off. We can't keep up with it. We've got another replay coming, and this is what happened with Scuderia Minardi and Red Shell Racing. So then if we can get your input this on YouTube as well, so let us know what you think. But breaking into turn 1, it all looks set at the moment. Then Red Shell, they just go for a move that isn't really on.
Now looking at it again, I'd say it's probably definitely not on for Red Shell. It was a very ambitious dive down the inside. But that's the thing. The driver in the car for Red Shell Racing.
We got 3 wide on the exit of turn 4 now. So this is Project. It's Scuderia Minardi Piston broken, Cam Sport Ice, and they're all tripping over each other. Scuderia Minerdi has to go off the track. And Piston Broke now trying to dive up the inside. We've got Radicals Online who have come back from absolutely nowhere. They're now 7th. And Scuderia Minerdi having a very wild ride and unfortunately getting pushed out there, but they just need to calm down a tiny bit. They're going off all over the place.
Guys,
and,
this is a 6-hour endurance
race.
Not 6-hour sprint race.
There's ERB
Calm
going off in the
down,
background as well, so those guys have gone off as well. It looks like maybe the track temp or something, because it's dropping, that everybody's struggling a tiny bit, but unless everybody's just giving it 110%. But
and more.
Yeah, it's
what were you saying about race mentality from qualifying? I think everyone's still in qualifying mode.
Yeah, everybody's completely in qualifying mode at the moment, but it's allowing the top 2 guys, El Bandito and Cam Sports Fire, to absolutely break away from everybody else. So, and this is really having an impact on what will be the race. So, the battle for the lead, as long as those 2 guys keep their heads together. You can see the lap times. The leaders out front at the moment, much quicker than pretty much everybody else, especially Will Dendy with a 1:46.3 at the start of the race. That's very, very impressive.
Yeah, only driver at the moment in the 1:46s, but can he keep that pace up for the entire 6 hours?
He did it last time, to be fair. I think he did like a 6-hour stint last time.
When was last time, though? What time?
Nürburgring. March, was it?
Was it
April? Of course it was cool. It's the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's quite warm today. It's not as bad as yesterday.
Oh,
yesterday was a bit too much.
The temperature we had yesterday was crazy. We have got a fan under our desk. It's keeping us and the PCs cool as well. So it's doing a sterling job. Give that fan a medal. But we're currently still watching Scuderia Minerdi. They are still in 8th position, so midfield they're down 2 positions as well.
Oh, that's a car going off there. I think that might have been Piston Broke team, I think, maybe. Just going off there. They're dropping down the order. I don't know where they are. They're coming back on now, so they had a massive moment then. They must have lost it on the... and Scuderia Minerdi as well, sliding on the exit. We've got another car there. It's not going well.
It isn't, is it? And that is concertinaing.
Radicals Online making a move on Cam Sport Ice as they go through turn 9. So I think they got that move done. Actually, I'm not sure. They're still side by side by the terms of it. We might need to jump a few places to go and see them as they come round to turn 12, and they're still side by side and just get muscled out. Do Radicals Online on the exit, but Cam Sport Ice defending very well at the moment. They've had to yield to Pink Panther, but Radicals Online now on the charge from pretty much last on the grid after being taken out by 130 Racing, now back up into the top 4, and they'll be chasing down Pink Panther Racing. We've also got Project GT as well, trying to make a move on Cam Sport Ice now that they've let Radicals go as well, so it's all kicking off at the front.
But not biased in any way about that incident with 130.
Well, they hit us off. It's plain and simple, isn't it?
No, it was definitely an ambitious move from the 130 Racing team. So we'll have to keep an eye on for that one. But Radicals Online managing to get in front of this pack of 4, 4th position now, and they've got clear track in front of them. This is ideal for them. This is what they've wanted, to get in front, get some clear track, and there's contact. That's Project GT going straight into the back of the Cam Sport Ice car. Cam Sport Ice dropping now 2 positions. That's allowed Scuderia Minerdi and Project GT through, of course. So now Cam Sport Ice completely unsettled. And
they may have damage.
Yeah,
they may have rear damage
on that, of course, as well. So that was heavy contact with the front of the Project GT car and the back of Cam Sport Ice. And that is
it's definitely a race director really needs to investigate that one, because I think it was pretty plain to see what happened. But just getting on. So they got on the curb, and this is what happened earlier on when they went off.
Yes.
So they were lucky not to go into the barrier there. They was lucky there was gravel on the runoff there. Otherwise, they would have been straight into the wall. But then there was a collision after that as well. So
outbreak.
They will need to see. So that was quite a few laps ago, and then 130 Racing hit them as well. So 130 Racing not seeming to like the braking zone into that corner very much.
Carbon copy of what happened earlier on.
Yeah, pretty much. So
not ideal from these teams. They are still in full qualifying mode. It's not ideal. Hopefully this race will calm down at some point. But of course, we're nearly half an hour into this race, and these tanks are not going to be lasting much longer. We're going to see the first
we'll see the pit stops within the next, I'd say, 10 minutes or so.
Yeah,
especially with how much people have been squabbling. They're probably using a lot more fuel than normal.
A lot more fuel, haven't they? So, yeah, that's probably...
It is pretty much a 6-hour sprint race at this moment until everybody settled down a bit. We've got another move going on further back. Excuse me, as I think that's Lamati Racing just getting past Camsport Ice, and then Piston Broke Racing as well in that battle. So as they climb up the hill towards turn 4, we've got another replay of what happened here between Camsport Ice, Project GT, and you can see Radicals Online just after making that move. So coming up towards turn 4, and this is when Project GT, I believe, just goes straight into the back of Camsport Ice and made them lose quite a few positions there. So yeah, just punted them up the rear and really not on, and should have been more aware to what was going to happen.
Yeah,
and just been a tiny bit too aggressive. Definitely.
Back with Red Shell Racing here. They're back in 13th position at the moment. I think now everyone's kind of got the squabbling sort of out the way at the moment. They've moved back roughly to where they qualified. Now, big shame for them, of course. They were doing really well at the front, and obviously everyone going for that. Everyone going for that Red Shell Racing for the win. Actually looked like it was going to happen at one point, but yeah, unfortunately they have fallen back down the order. They lost another position as well to Barracuda, so now back into 14th position. But they are still up one place from where they qualified. Casual Apex in 15th position at the moment. Some comments coming in. From Sean King, 6-hour LMP sprint. Yes, that's
literally it is. Yeah,
literally very well put, sir. That's literally what we've got going on here. So clear track at the moment. No yellow flags out there. Touch wood. But everyone still going around. You can still see a long train of cars there. Down the start-finish range.
Yeah, there's a few cars quite close up ahead in the Scuderia Minardi and Project GT area. The race director's got a lot of work to do, and we should see some penalties coming very soon from a number of different cars. I'll be surprised if we don't see them, but that's Red Shell Racing. Unfortunately, they've had a bit of a nightmare since they got up to, I think it was around 4th or 5th position at one point.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely need to
pick up that pace
have a look at some decisions as well from race control.
Yeah, definitely.
So El Bandito still leading the way. Then we've got Camsport Fire still in second place with Pink Panther in third and Radicals Online after having a bit of a dreadful start up to 4th place again. Project GT are in 5th, but I believe